of like speeding through this story because like I said, I already told it and it was funny as hell, and I'm like still pissed off. So like I'm just gonna tell y'all, and y'all just listen. Y'all just fucking listen to this shit, man. It's hot in here, bitch. I'm mad. And I'm like, herpes or cold sores? Herpes or cold sores? Which one does she have? Hey everybody, it's Girl Majesty and welcome back to my queendom. I am back yet again, and this time I'm going to give you guys another story time. Funny thing about this one is I recorded 2 story times yesterday and I edited both of them. Hours of dedication to editing. And I went to go save them to my phone and I didn't have enough space. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just delete the unedited videos and then I'll have space. Genius. Ding. I did that and iMovie was like, fuck you, bitch. We weren't done with those. And basically I have no footage now. I have no footage. Like, I can play the edited version in my iMovie. Like, it works perfectly, but it has like this the box where like you see your the clips, the thumbnails or whatever you call them, gone. They're gone. So here I am. I'm gonna tell these stories again. Yeah, we're gonna get into how I almost got herpes, and if you want to hear how I'm a dumbass bitch, keep on watching. So this story takes place about a year after Jeremy and I like officially ended it. Like I said, our relationship was like 6 years long. A year after that, I got with a guy named Derek. Derek and I had a situationship for about 2 years, 2.5 years ish. This is like towards the beginning of Derek and I's situationship. Okay, so we had dated for a few months and then we broke up. I moved to Reno and then we got in touch with each other again. He reached out to me, we started talking again, and eventually I came back to Sacramento from Reno and started living with him and his other 2 roommates. So one of the roommates, we'll call him, in my last story I call him Timmy because he's a bitch and he's a whiner, and the name Timmy sounds like a little ass kid who's always crying and whining for their fucking mom, and that just described him so well. So that's why his name is Timmy. Timmy had a girlfriend and she was living with everybody as well. It was a 3-bedroom and it was a big house, pretty big house, garage, da 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 da. Derek and I did not really discuss with Timmy's bitch ass and the other roommate. He's not really part of the story, so I'm not gonna give him a name, and neither's the girlfriend, so we're not gonna give her a name either. You get it. We didn't really discuss with the other roommates how the living situation was gonna go. We didn't really say, hey, she's moving in and for this long, da da da. We just kind of like snuck it in there, right? Timmy's bitch ass didn't like that, even though he had a whole entire girlfriend who was only paying half of his portion of the rent. She wasn't reducing Derek's rent and she wasn't reducing the other people's rent. She was just paying half of whatever Timmy's bitch ass was paying. So when I came into the picture, it was a totally different ball game. You know, like he would just cop an attitude and be like, well, is she gonna contribute rent and things like that? And we're like, well, I'm just gonna pay half of his. And like it just turned into a whole situation. Like, he didn't want that. He wanted the rent changed, and he was the start of all the drama in the house. And people blamed me because I was the last one to come in, and apparently everything was perfect before I got there, but whatever. Obviously some people don't like it when you're getting away with this same game that they set up for them to win, you know what I'm saying? So that, I think that's really what it was. So one day Derek was at work, I was at the house, and Timmy's bitch ass was at the house. He approached me and like in a bitch ass way, because that's just how he is. He's a bitch. He would never approach a man like this. So he was trying to stir the pot and be like, oh, well, how long are you gonna stay here, because Derek said you guys are just friends. And basically he wanted me to be sad, I guess, and like cry and be like, oh, we're more than friends, we're together. But I just was like, okay, that's interesting, but thanks for letting me know. But like, I didn't really react. And like he just kept trying to talk to me. I was like, okay, like I got stuff to do though. I didn't have shit to do. I didn't have shit to do. I just don't want to talk to your bitch ass. Of course I go and I talk to Derek. I call him while he was on break at work, and I was like, so we're just friends or something? Like, what is he talking about? He was like, well, yeah, I did say that, you know. And honestly, like, we had just got back together, and I don't know when he told him that, or if he told him that just so I could stay there or something, but I don't know. But he didn't deny it. But I was like, if you want to be friends, I'm gonna show you what friends really do with each other. This was before Tinder, and I'm kind of like speeding through this story because, like I said, I already told it and it was funny as hell, and I'm like still pissed off. So like I'm just gonna tell y'all, and y'all just listen. Y'all just fucking listen to this shit, man. It's hot in here, bitch. I'm mad. So this is before Tinder, and I posted an ad on Craigslist in Women Seeking Women. So in this situation, I wanted to get like a little side chick. And I mean, since we're friends, Derek, I can have other friends, right? You and I do friend things, so let me go do friend things with her. Yes, I'm passive aggressive as shit. Being with me is not easy. It's fun, but it's not easy. So I obviously got hit up by, you know, people responding to my ad. I had this girl, and I saw her picture. She sent me pictures to my phone, and I was like, okay, she's cute, whatever. Either that night or the next night, we met up at a Starbucks. It was already nighttime or whatever. Like, this is so unsafe. I'm so reckless. To this day, I don't know why. Like, I just have a gene in me that says, like, do dangerous shit and don't give a fuck. So I ended up meeting her at the Starbucks, and she didn't want to come inside. I got there first. I got my little pumpkin spice latte. Like, bitch, you can't stop me from getting my pumpkin pies, my pumpkin cookies, my pumpkin coffee. You can't stop me. And this was around like October, so it was popping. We go and sit in her car because, like I said, she didn't want to come inside. And she did not, when we were talking, she did not want to look directly at me. Like, every time she talked, every time she was listening to me talk, she was just straightforward. And me, when I speak to people, I always watch their mouth move. I'm on this side of her, right? I can see something on this side of her lip glistening. And let's just call her Jelly. Let's just call her Jelly. So I see something glistening on Jelly's lip, and I'm thinking, okay, like, she just messed up her lip gloss or whatever. Like, it happens. So fast forward, we end our conversation. I go back to the house. As soon as I walk in the door, there's Derek sitting on the computer at the little office space that we had right by the door, and he's like, so where you been? I was like, I just went out to the store. I just went to go get some coffee. Like, why do you want to know? He was like, so you didn't go meet somebody? And I was like, that's none of your business if we're just friends, though. Like, why do you want to know? So he was like drilling me, and I was like, we're just friends, right? We're just friends. And so finally I was like, yes, I met somebody. Yeah, I met up with somebody, but it's none of your business because we're just friends. Do you remember? Do I need to go get Timmy's bitch ass to remind you what you said? Oh, he was like, well, is it a girl or a guy? I was like, it's a girl. So he's like, well, is she cute? And I was like, I mean, she's decent or whatever, because she was like way cuter in her pictures, but whatever. He was like, well, call her up and invite her over. He didn't believe me. Honestly, in my heart, I feel like he didn't believe that I went out. I felt like he thought I just like went somewhere real quick just to piss him off. And like, no, like, nigga, I really got, I pulled a bitch. Like, what you? I call her on the phone, and I'm like, hey, I think I called him my boyfriend. I'm pretty sure. I was like, hey, my boyfriend wants to meet you. Like, you know, do you want to come over and whatever? And before I even got on the phone, he was like playing around with the idea of a threesome. So I was like, okay, like, let me just see if she's down. So she was like, yeah, I'm down. Like, you know, I'll come over. And I was like, well, it's just going to be the three of us, just so you know. She's like, yeah, no, that's no problem. So I get off the phone, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, what do you mean, what am I doing? I was like, go get the fucking liquor. She's coming. Like, he just didn't understand that, like, it's a real person on the phone, and she really about to come over here right now. So Jelly finally gets there, And this is when I finally see what was glistening on her lip. And I see like a little bump. I don't think that it was red. I think it was just like the skin was, you know, forming the boil or bump or whatever. I noticed it, but I just really didn't think anything of it. So back then, like, I was really book smart. Like, I was a really good student. I didn't like to study. I still don't. Even in you know, college, I never liked to study, but I was really, really smart. But when it come to like street stuff, I was really like, I had to be taught everything. Everything I learned from the streets was from people at school. Nobody taught me that cold sores are a form of herpes. And so that's what I thought it was. I thought it was just a cold sore because of the Abreva commercials, and like, they don't say, here's this medicine for your herpes. Like, they don't say that. They say, this is a cold sore, da da da. So that's what I thought it was. I didn't think anything of it. Like, okay, it happens. People, this is normal. I introduced Jelly to Derek and things like that, and we start to get drinking. I go to the bathroom, and when I come back, Jelly excuses herself to go to the restroom too. So I'm sitting there with Derek, and he was like, I don't like her. And I was like, what? And he was like, and she doesn't like me either. I was like, wait, I just left. I just left for 3 minutes. What could have possibly happened? So he's like, I think she has herpes. And I was like, what do you mean she has herpes? He's like, you don't see that bump on her lip? And I was like, yeah, it's probably a cold sore. Like, it is the winter time. Isn't that when people get cold sores? He was like, no, it's herpes. I was like, what do you want me to do? Like, I don't know anything about these things. Before we could even discuss like kicking her out, like, here she comes, right? So we just decide to just go with the flow and be careful. Derek goes ahead and downloads an adult themed game on his phone. It landed on her turn. She gets lick whipped cream off of player 2's nipple, and I'm player 2. So in my head, I'm thinking what Derek's saying, and I'm thinking what I know, which is cold sores. And I'm like, herpes or cold sores? Herpes or cold sores? Which one does she have? Milk comes out of breast, so that means that things can go inside. So I strategically and not so subtly put the whipped cream like up here, like not on my nipples, but like on, you know, she's still getting a little something, but it ain't nothing that's gonna like put me in danger. So she's getting the hint, but she's still like playing along just like we are. So she's trying to like slide down to my nipple, and Derek, he's just like eyeing her like, you dirty hoe, you better not touch her. And she kind of like looks at him like they really did not like each other, but they were like trying to be good, you know, good company for me. I can see their nonverbal communication, and like I see what she's trying to do. Like, she's trying to throw it in his face like, I'm gonna give this bitch herpes, and you can't do shit about it. I'm gonna give her herpes. So I just back off. I'm like, hey, party, hey, who wants another shot? Like, I just cut it off, and she's like, you know, like, really, bitch? I'm like, really, bitch? I ain't trying to get herpes. Like, I'm not. So I'm still going back and forth in my mind, like, is this really herpes? Because like, anytime I did see anything about herpes, it was always like a blister, like red and pussy and things like that. And like I said, hers was just raised skin, like a I don't know, it was just like a bump, but it wasn't red or anything, which I'm guessing is like the beginning stages of it. So we ended up dancing, and that one song by Juicy J and Lil Wayne, Bands That Make Her Dance, Bands That Make Her Dance, that was like a popular song at the time. So we're dancing, and you know, I'm like twerking, doing the best I can, child, because woohoo, child, I was about stiff as a board back then. And like, you know, she tried to help me along. She took off my belt so my booty could move and my jeans better and shit like that. So we ended up dancing for Derek. He's on it, you know, sitting on the chair, and she and I are both like twerking on him at the same time, things like that. But like, we were all wasted. Like, we were taking shots. Here I am, like my drunk little happy self, and I'm like, yay, like threesome time, about to get it in, baby. I was too excited. He was like, no, but like, she still has herpes though. Like, bitch, did you forget? And I'm like, no, like, come on now, that's not herpes. Like, I was just so desperate to get my first experience that like, bitch, I was going to get herpes for this pussy. Like, I was just dumb as shit. So he lets her go in the room, and like, she passes out, like heavy sleeping, snoring, everything. And he takes me into the living room. He was like, no, like, you know, we're good, like, you and I could just do something or whatever. And I'm like, okay, you know, you're right, whatever. So we get done doing whatever we're doing, and like, we're cuddling, and he gets silent, and all of a sudden he goes, you know, I just saved you from getting herpes, right? And I just started busting up laughing. I was like, I'm so dumb. Like, what is wrong with me? You're right. Like, you really did. And he's like, don't worry, I got you. Like, as long as you're with me, you're not gonna get herpes. Like, I got you. Like, we ended up getting in the bed, like, you know, later that night. And Jelly was on one side, I was on one side, and Derek was in the middle. So her alarm goes off, and Derek turns it off. And I'm like, why'd you turn off her alarm? You know, obviously she has to get up. And he was like, well, she, you know, she's just sleeping heavy. She doesn't hear it. Like, it keeps going off. And I was like, I'll wake her up. So I wake her up, and like, she just pops up like a freaking crackhead. She was like, what time is it? What time is it? I was like, it's 6:30. She's like, oh my God, I'm late. And I was like, I'll just walk you out. And like, I threw on a robe because like I was naked or whatever. I was like, I'll walk you out. She's like, no, it's okay, it's okay. So she grabs her shoes, doesn't even put them on, and she just starts like bolting for the door. So I'm following her. I'm like, slow down, like, I can, you know, I don't mind, you know, walking you to the car. And she's like, I'm so sorry, bye. The sprinklers were on, and like the walkway down the driveway into the sidewalk was completely soaked. She didn't even care. She just starts running through puddles in her freaking socks. And I'm like, yeah, you know what, you right, I'ma just stay right here. Like, I ain't got the time. So I get back into the room, and Derek's like, I don't want you to talk to her again. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. Like, I'm not gonna try to do anything with her, but, you know, she seems cool. Maybe we could be friends. And he was like, no, like, I don't want you to talk to her again at all. And I'm like, but how are you gonna tell me that and we're not even friends? And he was like, okay, fuck all that shit. We're not friends. You're my girl. I don't want you to talk to her. I was like, you got it, daddy. You got it. I was like, talk to me like that again, I'll do whatever. I won't talk to her then. I won't talk to her. So she texts me like either day after or something like that. And she was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I want to see you again, And I never responded. And like, maybe one other time she texted me, she's like, I don't know why you're not texting me, but I'm sorry, I just want to be, you know, friends. But I just never texted her back after that, because obviously, you know, Derek was not having it. He was ready to claim me then, huh? People don't like it when you use their own game against them. People just don't like it when they're winning at a game, and then you start playing and you start winning, then they don't want to play. So what did Drake say? He said, holding all the cards and niggas want to play chess now. That's exactly the situation. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to my story. If you like it, go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know if you guys ever almost got an STD. If you did get an STD, leave that to yourself, because I ain't trying to hear it. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.